And so he's going to talk on a very interesting topic, the root causes of ill health.
Yeah,
Very
root cause
timely.
of disease and illness.
And how many years you been doing this work, the research on this? And
15.
15 years experience. So, take it over, Tom.
Okay, thank you. So I'm a PhD chemist and nutritional blood microscopist, so I'll be talking about the root cause for disease and illness, and also 5 aspects to increase your health and longevity. So the root cause of all disease and illness is your immune system, but most people don't know what is your immune system. It actually starts with your skin. There are billions of bacteria and fungi and viruses on your skin at all times. The worst thing you can do is wash them off or use hand sanitizer. Yet, that's what we were taught to do 3 years ago. But it's a huge mistake, because if you don't exercise your immune system like a muscle, it will weaken, right? So that's your first barrier. The second part of your immune system is your mucous membranes. That's where COVID-19 affected. It didn't matter on your skin. It mattered if it got into your mucous membranes when it was airborne. And it's difficult to protect them because you need your whole system functioning. The third area of your immune system is your gut health, known as the microbiome. You don't want to be in dysbiosis. You want the probiotic and parasitic bacteria to be in balance. Most people think, well, I just don't want any parasites in my gut. I don't want any fungus in my gut. You need the war between probiotics, bacteria, and all the other pathogens. You don't want the pathogens to get the upper hand, because they'll find their way into your blood, and then I'll see them in the microscope. But as long as there's a war going on in there, it's very good. Right? The next part of your immune system is what we're more or most familiar with, and that is the white blood cells. So these are known as lymphocytes, and there are many. There's neutrophils, basophils, and eosinophils, and then a big part of the immune system, the lymphocytes, the T cell and B cell lymphocytes. So the T cell lymphocytes, they're actually called killer cells. They'll really destroy cancer cells. So again, if you have cancer and it was able to metastasize, a big piece of that is your T cell lymphocytes weren't up to the job, right? The B cell lymphocytes give you the antigens and the antibodies. Well, the antibodies is what you wanted to produce in 2020. Of course, you want to do it all the time, but that's where your protection is, and that's the B cell lymphocytes. The eosinophil type white cells tend to be related to allergies, and they give you a histamine response. So a lot can be seen in your blood, but it's all about your immune system and keeping it strong. So what can we do all the way through to keep our immune system strong? And we heard bits of this last week. So the first thing is how we eat, what we eat, and how we digest what we eat. So if you eat a wonderful meal, it is a horrible meal if you don't digest, metabolize, and eliminate. So that is all predicated on your body's ability to make enzymes, both protein digesting protease enzymes in the pancreas and most of the other enzymes to digest carbohydrates and fats in the liver. In fact, you digest the carbohydrates in your mouth, you tend to digest the proteins in your stomach, and you tend to digest the fats in your intestines. And therefore, everything has to be functioning. So often, people will realize that they need to take enzymes once they get to maybe age 40. Because around age 25, you've peaked out at your production of enzymes. So every year past the age of 25, you're making 1% fewer enzymes every year. So by the time you're in your 60s and 70s, you're down 40%, 50%. You're still alive, but you're struggling. And the whole point beyond longevity is quality of life, all the way to that. So how you eat is very important. The intermittent fasting is also very important, which basically means don't eat anything after dinner, just drink water. But because you get cellular autophagy, so there are cells happens all the time, they become sentient, which means they're no longer functioning. And we want to get rid of those cells. But if we don't get rid of them, they hinder the functioning cells. Well, autophagy cleans that up, and what really makes autophagy more efficient is intermittent fasting. It's that time without eating. When you're younger, you don't have to intermittent fast. You can eat before bedtime. In fact, athletes eat in the middle of the night, so they get up to eat again, so they don't eat their muscle. They want to be anabolic instead of catabolic. So, all right, so that's on the food side. Most of you will probably want to take something called collagen. You will notice a huge difference in just a matter of days. Most all of the brands are good. They have it at Costco. In just a few days, you'll notice less aches and pains, and your tendons and ligaments will improve, and also the membranes around your organs will get stronger. So, simple thing to do. There's no flavor to it, and it's just like drinking water, but it's a nice little supplement. All right? You have a question?
Yeah. On collagen, do you need to have all three types in it? Like type 1, type 2, type 3? Or
It would be nice, but
nice.
what I have noticed, all of the major brands work great.
Okay.
So
Even in pill form?
I don't know about it in pill form because you have to take,
6 a day.
but that's not enough. You'd have to take about 30. Yeah.
And the other question, I heard that putting it in hot coffee dilutes it or negates it.
It does not.
It does not?
It does not, no. So yeah, you can put it in something hot, right. So that's the eating side for health and longevity, but that also will improve your immune system. If you're digesting, metabolizing, and eliminating your meals, then your immune system can work on viruses and bacteria. If you don't, your white blood cells will have to finish off the digestion. So that's something I see under the microscope. I can see if someone's digesting proteins and fats well, because I can see it in the blood, which means the white cells have to finish off, and the metabolic function for digestion is extremely energy intensive. In fact, it's the most energy intensive. And I think that was covered last week.